Hello, once again, this is Brother Teacher. I want you to ask yourself a very honest question and come back with a very honest answer. If you're true to yourself, honestly, you won't beat around the bush. You will be made to face you. You will be made to face yourself. That is one of the things nowadays that seems to be sort of taboo. People being honest with themselves about themselves. In this particular segment, I'm not making an attempt to be philosophical, howbeit it may be that way to some. But whatever it seems and or appears to be to you, take it as such. But make sure that you take it the right way that I intended. Many of us, we have these preconceived notions that this is it. In other words, the life that you live right now is the end. When it's time to die, that's it. Cessation of life, nothing else. And that's just simply it. But as we stumble our way through life, we have our obstacles, we have our ups and our downs, we have our happy times and our sad times. We become angry at times, frustrated. Anxiety is part of our lives, throughout our lives. Those emotions, we seek out enjoyment, pleasure, fun, and many of us can't really accept anything less than that. Prime example, and the most important example, is that when death comes, when it's knocking at our doors, we're made, I say it again, we're made to accept the awesome reality that we're all going to leave here. But what's next? Have you ever asked yourself, what's next? Not trying to sound religious. I don't believe in religion because religions were made by man. But I do speak from the standpoint of a spiritual man that's not boasting. It just simply is what it is. And I'll say this to you today. You need to make a decision. I said that. You really need to make a decision and ask yourself the question, what's it all about? My life? Was I just dropped off here? You, the individual, speaking collectively, all of us. Were we just simply dropped off here on planet Earth? We came out of our mother's womb by way of man, who would be our father, and we were nurtured, most of us, brought up as an infant, a child, a toddler. We come through adolescence, we become a teen, a young adult, middle-aged adult, and if it's God's will, as the saying goes, hopefully we'll live to become a much older individual, man or woman. But once we breathe our last breath, once our blood stops flowing through this body, this vessel that we occupied for however long it was, what's next, ladies and gentlemen, and even children? watching, what's next? Because some of us don't make it to adulthood. Some of us die at a very early age. What's next? You know, people debate and they argue whether or not there's a God, a true and living God. There's all kinds of gods we know that people worship. Inanimate objects, statues, animals, such as cows and elephants and birds and various other things. But that spiritual being, that essence, that divine being that we can communicate with, who can communicate back with us. There are some that don't believe that he or she, for some, even exist. But if he or she, or God, the Creator, I would like to say it, or the Supreme Being, the Most High God, Allah, Yahweh, Emmanuel, and all of the various other names, Jehovah and so forth, that God is referred to by and called. If God does not exist, then what's next after this life? Are you going to come back as a flower? As some would say, as another animal, as some would say, as some celestial being, as some might say. But what's next? Have you ever thought about this? And let me tell you something, as serious as I can be to you. Thinking is not enough. You can think about anything, but what are you going to do about it? You're thinking about what's going to happen next when my life is over. But what are you going to be able to do about it? Will you be able to do anything? Can you wake yourself from the dead once you die? Can you? I certainly don't have the power to raise myself back up if I died today or tomorrow. I don't have that ability. And I'm a human being, as you are watching me. So the question is, do you have the ability to raise yourself back from the dead? Back into your former self? Back into a better version of yourself? An angelic part of yourself? Maybe? Or even something else that we may not even be aware of. Are you able to do this? So does it stand to reason, while we are here on this side of the grave, that we should pause? Selah is the word in Hebrew. Pause and consider. Think about it. What's my purpose here while I am here? What's my real purpose here while I am here? And when you come to that conclusion, what your purpose is, what are you going to do about it? Are you walking in that purpose today? Are you ready for the end of this physical existence to go to the next place or plane, wherever it may be? I'm just trying to get you to think. I do believe in a divine providence, in a creator. I don't know about you. I know that there are some, and there are many that believe the same, that we're not simply here by mistake. And I'm on a journey, but you have to be consciously aware that you're on that journey. Everyone is not on that journey. There's a definitive decision that you must make when you are in this plane, on this plane in this world. That decision is, what am I going to do about me being here? How do I treat my fellow man? How do I treat myself? How do I treat that God, that creator, if he or she does indeed, or it does indeed exist? How do I treat it? I would be terribly sad, saddened, and disappointed if this was it. If my stay here on planet Earth was the only thing that I had to look forward to and die. Wouldn't you? I would be really sad to know that if I died, there's nothing else after this. So, what I'm saying is this: I am consciously aware that there is something something greater than me. I'm consciously aware of that. Are you? And while I'm consciously aware of that, I'm trying to live my life. Not that I don't have faults, not that I don't have weaknesses, and not that I don't make mistakes. But I'm consciously aware that there is a creator. And being consciously aware, I strive within the best of my ability and my knowledge and understanding up until this point in my life to please the creator. That's what I do. There are some that say, well, the Bible is written by men and it's not correct. Or the Quran is written by men and it's not correct. Men have tampered with history and so on and so forth. That may be true on some level, but wouldn't it be unfair? Wouldn't it be terribly unfair if the power that be that created all of us for his or her purpose created us for naught, created us and just let us hang and not know what the real purpose was for being here? Wouldn't that be a disservice to the creation? And that's us. Wouldn't it be? So I don't believe that the creator would place us here on this planet with all of this knowledge and all of this ability and potential to create slingshots, weapons, nuclear weapons and atomic weapons and cell phones and rocket ships and state-of-the-art equipment and technology, robots, all of these things. He wouldn't put us here for no reason at all and not leave us an out and not leave us a remedy to our ills, to our issues of life. You see, I believe that we're the most intelligent being on this planet in the physical form. Mankind is. And I believe we have the mind that God gave us to do all of those things that I just mentioned. He's not going to come to us and beat us upside the head and make us do anything. But he's going to make it aware to us, as much as some may deny his existence. And I say his. He's going to make it apparent to us that he does exist. If you look in the sky, that's the first heaven. You see the sun. You see clouds. You can feel a breeze. Look at the masses of water on this planet. Look at all of the greenery and the oxygen that we breathe in from that greenery. Everything that we need as human beings is on this planet. As much as men destroy some of it and pollute some of it, everything that we needed as human beings was given to us. Even the ability to reach our Creator. Many of us just simply have not acted upon it. Many of us just simply have not sought him out. That's our problem. But we are aware, as much as some may deny. We are aware. We really do know, but we don't necessarily as a whole accept his excellence, his power, his greatness, because we're only looking through the physical carnal eye. And the things that we see, we become judgmental of those things and judgmental of the Creator and say he doesn't exist. Why would he let or allow children to die? Why would he let my grandmother, my father, my mother, my sibling die? Why does he allow war all over the place? You know why? He is above us and not beneath us. He's the creator, and we are the created. So who are we to question why he did these things and does these things? And if he's able to create us, he can destroy us and rebuild us again if he so desires. That's the truth. Whether you want to accept it or not, it's the truth. Can you place the sun in the sky? Someone did. And you said, well, someone, are you thinking in your finite way of thinking and saying, well, a human being, you know, a human being didn't do it. But isn't it amazing that we need the sun for us to live? If there were no sun, we'd all freeze to death on this planet and die. There would be nothing if there were no sun. So something intelligent, someone intelligent, someone spectacular, phenomenal, much greater than we are, knew that we needed the sun, knew that we needed the nutrition from the earth, knew that we needed oxygen, knew that we needed cold to destroy the germs in the air during the wintertime in places, knew that we needed to have mercy and compassion and not just only have suffering on this planet throughout our whole lives. You've laughed before, haven't you? You've laughed really hard before, haven't you? But you've had sad and harsh times in your life as well, haven't you? We all have. We've experienced our human emotions on every front, every level. But every day is not a sad day. No matter where you are. We smile sometimes, don't we? But some of us don't want to experience tragedy. Some of us don't want to experience hard times and harsh times. We want everything to be easy, everything to be peaches and cream, without effort on our part, nothing at all. It's not supposed to be that way. It's not. We have to go through trials and tribulations, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to tell you that we go through those things as a test to see if we're worthy of something greater. If everything was given to us, we would never appreciate it. We would not. And we'd be something else other than human. So, all this little snippet here, was just an attempt to get you to think. When I was a little boy growing up, there were certain entertainers and movie stars and celebrities and even my own personal family that I grew up with. And now that I'm beyond, I believe, what we call over term as middle age, my young 60s, people are passing away and have been passing away, leaving here. As I tell people, we are leaving here. What a better time to look back and reflect on where we came from and ask ourselves today, where am I now? That's a serious question. Where are you now? Now, you could be a younger person and ask that question too. You don't have to be in your 50s and 60s and above to ask that question, where am I now? If you're 20 something and 30 something and 40 and 50 something, you can ask that question now, where am I now? Have I progressed? Have I become a better person, a better human being in my time on planet Earth up until this point? I don't care what all of your mistakes have been and what your weaknesses are and the things that you've done wrong, even. Where there is life, there is hope. And you can make your today better than your yesterday. You can. That's water under the bridge. It's already passed. But the question is today, I don't care how bad that was either, but the question is today, what are you going to do about your life right now, moving forward? So sometimes I tell people we have to walk circumspectly as if today were our last days on earth, because tomorrow is not promised to us. You've heard that. And the scripture says, boast not thyself of tomorrow, for thou knowest not what a day may bring forth. We don't know tomorrow, because someone just died as I was speaking to you. People are dying every few minutes somewhere from various reasons. But we're leaving here. And when someone is born, someone dies. When someone is born, 10 people die. And so on. But the real issue is, the real question is, what's the value of your life here on earth right now? Honestly, is it just simply about entertainment, pleasure, or are you living your life just bitter because you don't think life has given you all of the benefits that you should deserve or believe that you deserve? What is your life all about? I'm drying up right now. And what I mean by that is this. I'm going to conclude, because I've said what I had to say, that I was moved to say to you, the words that I had to share with you. I'm going to leave you now. But I do want you to think really hard about tomorrow. Not necessarily the physical tomorrow, if it's the Creator's will that you wake up tomorrow physically, but the tomorrow in eternity. That's what you really need to be thinking about. But understand this, comprehend this, that eternity and where you are in eternity beyond death is going to be predicated or based on how you've lived your life right now. This is Brother Teacher. Let me know what you think about your life right now and your life later. Much love. Yahweh loves you. I love you. Enjoy your day, your morning, your evening, afternoon, wherever you may be on this planet. And so long.